Greetings, fellow Vocaloid fans, I guess. This is the first time we're doing something like this, but greetings, fellow Vocaloid fans, otakus, gamers, whatever you prefer. It is your boy, TheDomotaku. We are doing a movie review. Wow, holy moly, it's been such a long-ass time since I've reviewed anime or reviewed movies, but I watched a really fun movie today, and I had a really great time, surprisingly. What's going on, Sephia? Welcome. Thank you for the testing. Miku. What's going on, Dalmic? Welcome. Testing? Yes, you're testing the YouTube chat because I have to do that pretty much every stream. Welcome. Nikkei stream in 2 days? Oh yeah, I'm so ready for that. Ah man. Dude, it's so surprising how a day just like went by. Just like that. Like the movie was, I think it's slated for like an hour 53 minutes, but I'll talk about a little bit of it's probably not an hour 53 minutes, I'm not gonna lie. There's like some extra things on the side we'll talk about in a bit, but yeah, I had a fantastic time. I pretty much I spent the whole day out, and then I got to watch the movie, of course, the colorful stage, the movie Miku Can't Sing. So I'm gonna give a lot of thoughts about this movie because this is, if you guys don't know about this game, well for one, it's a Vocaloid movie for one, but it's based off the gacha game, the mobile game. I think it's a gacha game. I actually don't know. I know it's a rhythm game. It probably has gacha in it. It's a mobile game, right? But it's based off that game and that character and that setting and everything. And I know nothing about that game and setting. And I honestly thought to myself, like, wow, I probably should touch up on it and see if I should learn some things from this, like the characters and everything. But honestly, as a general go at it, you don't need to know anything about the game. Now, granted, you probably know more if you knew the characters in the game, because there's some things that feel like that happened in the game. But honestly, as someone who's never played the game, I got through it and I enjoyed a lot of it. And of course, there's some things you have to learn and some things we'll talk about. But I thought it was a really solid movie. Also, rolling for Sayaka. Ooh, I'll have to say that. Man, they didn't announce the banner. When did this happen? I was so confused. I was like, oh my gosh, Sayaka. So I need to know what role she is because I have all of the magical girls from the anime, and she's just the last piece of the puzzle. So we'll see how it goes. I only literally have one 10 pull in the game. It's not that great. It's not that easy getting pulls. They just announced it now. She's a defender. Oh my gosh, so she is a sustain. That's perfect because you have Mami, who's a buffer. You have Kyoko and Homer, who are attackers. Madoka's the breaker, and she's the sustain. Gosh darn it, bro. She's literally the trifecta of the team. I need her to be a healer or a defender. That's perfect. Well, anyways. Yeah, what else did I do? So, yeah, I pretty much spent the whole... Well, I didn't watch the whole day watching the movie. Of course, it's like a 2-hour movie-ish. But I did end up visiting my little bookstore and also bought some manga. This is a nice little one-shot I found. It's called Home Office Romance by Kinetsu Yamada. I had no clue about this manga, but I found it, and when I browse mangas, because clearly my shelf's too full of too many books and mangas, especially a Yuri section, but every time I buy books now, I always try to find something that's complete, pretty much. This is a 1-volume complete series, very nice, and I haven't read it fully yet. I was killing time before the movie started, and then I was just trying to browse some books, and I found this, and I end up getting it and then bringing it along to the movie. So yeah, I guess let me go talk about the movie experience in a little bit, actually, because I must say this theater was packed. So when I bought the tickets, right, initially I was like, okay, it's there's some people in it, right? And then there wasn't people sitting next to me. I bought my tickets, got my popcorn and a coffee because I don't drink soda in the movie theaters. I drink coffee to stay awake. But then, yeah, when I went in, I was seated, and then just apparently the whole house was filled. Not the front row seats, but the back ones. But everything was filled with a bunch of fellow fans, and man, they were ready. Oh my god! So this is a thing towards the end of the movie, right? But so nicely done also, because when I got my tickets for the movie, they give you this pamphlet, right? And apparently this pamphlet has a code to use in the game. I have no clue what this gives you. But you know what? After this movie, I kind of thought about trying out the game, because honestly, this movie really made me, it piqued my interest on the characters and like the setting of the game, because of course Miku, the Vocaloids. Most of them are most of the main 5 or 6, right? The main ones are in there, right? So you know them, but then I didn't know much about the characters in the setting of Colorful Stage, and that's what kind of got me interested, because clearly they've been through a lot of character development and storylines in the game, and I don't know about it. So maybe I'll look into that one day. But yeah, I got a cool pamphlet. There's seats filled everywhere, and then at the end of the movie, so the movie says it's an hour 53 minutes, but like I think it's kind of cut down. Actually, no, it's like, okay, at the end of the movie there's like a movie after party, pretty much, right? And I was like, not to spoil what it is or like what kind of content it is. Basically, you get a little like I guess it's not like a spoiler, I guess, but like you get a pretty much like a little mini Miku concert at the end with like songs from the movie. And it was not too long, but when that happened, there were like so many fans in the seats that had glow sticks and shit, and I was like, whoa, wait, am I expecting a concert? A live Miku concert in this theater? Like, I did not expect that. I would have brought my own glow sticks. I'm just kidding, I don't have glow sticks, but there were so many more Vocaloid fans that were way more ready than I am. They had glow sticks and everything, and like, it's like the one time when I watch a movie in theaters and then like they clap at the end of the credits, and like normally I watch a movie in this full theater, like they don't clap. Sometimes they do, but like this was a theater full of fans, very excited, all Miku Vocaloid fans. It was pretty fun, not gonna lie. And yeah, so that was the little experience to the theater. And the thing was the Minecraft movie review. If I ever watch that movie, we'll see. What else? So that's my movie experience. Now I guess we'll talk about the movie itself. So I'm gonna go first, talk about it in a general sense. We're gonna talk non-spoiler first. No, not spoiler. Non-spoilers talk. All right. So this is where I'm pretty no screenshot of the movie. No, I'm not gonna take my phone out and record the movie. Albeit I've seen people do that in the thing. But no, I don't take my phone out and record the movie. What's going on, Alan? Welcome, Spoggers. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I watched the movie today. It was very fun. Although, it's kind of, I guess I would say, interesting perspective because I never played the game. But I really enjoyed it, honestly. So we're going to talk about that with this non-spoiler talk here. I'm not going to go into specific details. I mean, we'll go into general things like the plot and synopsis and like things that I did understand. So, okay, the first thing like with this movie is that, once again, it's based on this gacha game, Colorful Stage, right? And of course, in that game, there are established characters / bands / groups. And, I personally, like, there's like, I think, okay, let me, in this visual, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different groups, right? And each group has like 4 different members. So that's like 20 characters that I knew nothing about. But honestly, like, you kind of get a vibe. And the cast was like very, how do you put this? Like colorful, not to like be a pun or anything, but like they're very vibrant and very expressive and different in their own way. Like you had like one group, I think, can I move my mouse in this image? No, I can't, dang it. Well, you have like one group that's just like a rock band. You have like an idol group, of course. And you have like a kind of like a, not like breakdancing kind of group or something like that. And then you have like streamer, YouTuber, idol groups. Like there's like a variety of the characters in the cast. I really liked every single one of them, and they all have like their own unique kind of thing about them. But what else? Yeah, so basically, once again, established setting, established characters. If you played the games and you know a lot about them, then you'll get more out of the movie than I did, because whenever like things happen in the movie with the characters, I would hear some of the crowd talking about things, and I'm just like, I've never played the games, I don't know anything about these characters. But aside from that, you get some time, you get like equal amount of time with like every single group, and kind of get a good vibe with each of them. Of course, I have some favorites, but yeah, I thought that was pretty alright. The cast and the characters were really good. The movie also looks freaking fantastic, looks great. The music, of course, you get a lot of Vocaloid songs and references and stuff like that. Once again, it's just a Vocaloid fan, it's pretty thing. Are the characters of age? No, they're probably like high school. I mean, like majority of them are like probably high school or something like that. I didn't see anyone like, not to my knowledge, from that extent. But what else? Okay, so yeah, there's that. Okay, I think the only other thing that confused me in the movie, or like, is like, because if you're going into this movie like me, who's never played the game, so there's of course the characters that don't know the development much about, right? But then there's also this term that they throw around all the time. It's the term sekai. So here, let me go type it out too. Let me emphasize this terminology that they use in the movie. Sekai. Where is my typing thing? Hold up. Sekai. And I'm pretty sure this translates to world, right? But they throw this term out there a lot. And like pretty much, okay, how do I, if I could like pretty much like, how do I describe this term? Okay, so pretty much you have the characters in the game, right? Like the normal characters, not Miku and Vocaloid, right? But basically, I don't know if it's like some kind of app or like some kind of thing, but basically they have this virtual reality world thing where all the characters kind of like meet together, and inside this sekai, they have their own versions of like their Vocaloids, right? They have their own set of Mikus, and what else? So yeah, Miku, Rin, Len, Luca, Kaito, Meiko, right? You have different iterations of them in their own sekais, their own worlds, right? And basically every single group in the game, like the band or whatever, they have their own sekai pretty much. So you have like, what, 5 groups, right? So you have 5 different sekai worlds with their own iterations of their Miku, their Rin, Len, all the Vocaloids, right? And I guess pretty much they like practice their music in there, or like they just kind of hang out in there and whatchamacallit, like, I don't know, they talk with them and interact with their Vocaloids as well. So that was the only one thing you kind of like had to like, I was like, yeah, well, I'll meet you guys in Sekai. And I was like, what does that mean? And then basically they just like jack in Mega Man, pretty much, something like that. But yeah, that plays up like like somewhat of a plot in the movie. And I assume, I don't know how it explains it in the game, but I mean, that's just the only thing you had to like, that kind of like threw me in for a loop, because I was like, okay, I don't know anything about these characters, but like, I know for a fact it's a rhythm game. They all make music and do other things. Some of them are performers. Some of them, of course, like I said, idols, dancers, rock band. I guess another group like uploads things on Discord or YouTube or something like that, right? And then you have this other group that's like performs at a amusement park, doing plays and shit, and like that counts too. So like, yeah, there's like a variety of characters here, but I kind of find it interesting, this notion of like each group has their own sekai with their own Miku, their own Vocaloids, and they kind of like interact and like have different like themes and feels, and like kind of like they kind of, I guess they also help them out with when they make music, because it's and performances and whatever. So that's like a really interesting feature. I don't know how it is in the game, but like I said, I'm kind of interested in the game after watching this movie, so maybe I'll discover upon it. So waifu is real. It was pretty real to me. Like, okay, like to describe some of the different sekais that the characters have. Now I really wish I had my mouse like open on this image, but it's like the character in here, like with the blue hair, like her group is pretty much like a, not like Bocchi the Rock, like a rock band like kind of thing, right? Pretty much. And then their sekai, it's like a school classroom setting, and then all their Vocaloids are dressed up kind of like a rock band, pretty much, right? And then you have the idol group that have their sekai and their Miku and their Vocaloids all pretty much look like idols, pretty much. And then there's like the edgy, darker group who has their sekai world that looks very gray and monotone-ish, and then their Vocaloids like kind of speak very nonchalant or edgy, that kind of thing, right? So yeah, there's different iterations, and they pretty much, I'm trying to interpret this, right? But these sekais are pretty much like, I don't know like how to describe this, but it kind of encompasses the feelings of the members, I guess. I have no clue. Once again, this is like the whole like thing that I had to like just like try to understand myself in the movie. So yeah, like each group has their own sekai with their own Vocaloids and their own kind of like feel and style into it. I thought it was pretty cool. Now, what else? Okay, so this goes into the main general plot of the movie. So like I said, so every single group has their own sekai with their own version of Miku and the Vocaloids, right? So to go into the general plot of this movie, right? You have the Miku, that's literally right here. This one right here that's sitting down. You have this Miku, who's not part of these characters' sekais, but she appears and she's trying to, like, well, as the movie says, the title says, a Miku who can't sing. So she's trying to sing and reach out to certain people, but she can't sing. And so she pretty much, like, pops up in reality to ask for assistance from the characters of the game to, like, help her sing or make music and stuff like that, and kind of, like, reach other people. I won't go further than that because that's, like, specifics and more spoiler stuff, but that's the general plot of the movie. Like Persona, their shadow self, I honestly don't know. I don't think it is that case, though. Maybe there are some things in the game that happen that might show it off like that, but I don't think so. I mean, like, they're just, like, hanging about in their own virtual worlds with their Vocaloids. Like, another Sekai one, like, the dancers, the breakdancer group, they have, like, their Sekai and their Miku, they're pretty much, like, chilling in a cafe run by Meiko, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Yeah, one's a stage, one's a whole, like, Wonderland festival, schoolroom. Yeah, right. So, yeah, like I said, general plot synopsis, you have this Miku right here, who is from a different Sekai than all the other Mikus and Vocaloids, right? Who pops up in reality and is trying to sing and, you know, basically gets help and assistance from learning about singing and music from the characters in the game. General synopsis, done, pretty much. That's the general thought of it. And I honestly kind of really, how do you put this? Like, the thing that appeals to me the most about this, like, movie is, like, the different groups and the characters. Because, of course, like I said, they have different styles and themes and vibes with each group. Of course, you like a certain group more than maybe than other ones. Maybe, like, you know, I don't really prefer the idol groups in these kind of games. Like, if you take my thing from Bang Dream, right? My favorite group is Roselia. So there's, like, one group in particular in this universe that I probably would vibe with the most likely. But yeah, so that's, like, the the non-spoiler general sense of it. To go furthermore, like I said, the movie looks fantastic. Also, I think it's done by PA Works, and of course the music is amazing. You have, you know, Vocaloid songs. You have a lot of love and appreciation for Vocaloid in this movie, and then of course you have original songs from each of the groups. And like I said, there's idols, rock, more idols things, right? Different genres and vibes of music, of course, from each different groups. And what else? So yeah, the story. What else? I guess I'll go a little bit more into the story, just a little bit, not like spoiler talk, but I really like, for like a general plot line of the movie, right? Like I said, how it's like this Miku trying to get help from the characters. I honestly really appreciate and like this movie a lot because it kind of just feels like a love appreciation for, like, Vocaloid, music, art, creation, that kind of thing. Because, you know, I didn't know much about these groups, right? But, like, every single group that has, like, 4 members, and, like, usually one member in the group is doing the vocals or the lyrics of the song, one does the music and the thing and whatever, right? And each kind of group, like, one of the things I really like about this movie is, like, how you see, like, each group kind of, like, you know, just coming together, like, every single individual character of each group, like, you know, contributing to create music or stuff like that. And pretty much a lot of the things in this movie is kind of like that, just like appreciation of, like, music and creation and whatnot. And I'm assuming they're all just inspired by Vocaloid, which is, like, the only, like, thing, because, you know, a lot of the, well, most of the music, I guess it's like half. There's like half Vocaloid songs, and of course there's half the original songs from the members, right? But then, like, I wasn't too sure where the Vocaloid came in, but I guess they're just, like, all inspired by Vocaloid. I mean, like, as, like, in that kind of fact, right? Like, it kind of resonates with, like, just us fans, pretty much. Like, you know, everyone, maybe some people have, like, experienced Vocaloid in some aspect, right? And, you know, I'm in that group as well. And, you know, I really enjoy, like, a lot of aspects of the Vocaloid thing. Like, you have, like, the community aspect, and then you have the creator aspect of people making songs and movies and, you know, videos, dancing, all that stuff. And then, of course, like, it's kind of, how do I put this, like, encompassed in this movie, right? and then it gets translated because all the characters from the game, they make their own music, and I guess they also get taught by like get help and advice and talk to their sekais and their Vocaloids and their Mikus and whatnot, and then they make their own original songs, and then they expand it out to like the people and the world and the crowd and stuff like that. So I was just like, yeah, it's a fun time, honestly, not gonna lie, right? Do you watch Rabbit Hole Vocaloid? You know what, man, my Vocaloid knowledge has like not been too thing. So like, okay, I know like the names, because like, okay, here's my Vocaloid experience, right? Okay, I've listened to some songs back when I was a younger lad, right? And of course I played the Project Diva games. I think I played all of them. Not all of them, not the PSP ones, but I played the ones with the PlayStation. Project Diva F Second, and stuff like that, right? Aside from that, I don't really know too much about like encompassing lore or other things amongst the Vocaloids and whatnot. And of course, like out of everyone, I only listen to Miku a lot. Like I don't really do too much Mako or Kaito. Sometimes I dabble with like Luca and Rin and Len, right? And they're mostly, that's like the only Vocaloids in this movie. I mean, they're like the main 5. Miku, Rin, Len, Kaito, Mako, Luca. Okay, 6. Never mind. There's six Vocaloids pretty much. Main 6, right? So yeah, I mean, also just speaking about the Vocaloids, right? Of course, Miku has like the most screen time in this movie because it's literally about a Miku, and Miku's the number 1 pretty much, right? She's the OG. She's 01. She's pretty much the inspiration for a lot of the things that come about, right, with Vocaloid and the content creation and music and all that stuff. So, just a lot of love for Miku and Vocaloid in a general sense. I really like it. So, what else? I think that's pretty much all I could say with the non-spoiler talk about like just the general synopsis about this movie. Okay, guys, to sum it up, it's very watchable if you do not watch the games. Of course, the only thing that I had to come into fruition and learn throughout the movie is about the Sekai terminology and like the uses and like what it is, right? But then the characters, there's a wide range of characters. You'll probably find a group that you like a lot. I like all of them, but of course I see one or two that I probably would enjoy more than the others. What else? Once again, appreciation for just Vocaloid and music, art, creation, all that kind of things. I kind of felt that way, and it was just really fun. Pretty much, I had a fun time with this movie. I had fun with the shenanigans that happens with the cast. Some people in the movie were laughing when like characters would interact and they have their slice of life shenanigans and everything. I don't know much about the characters from the games, but it's a fun time and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I would highly recommend watching this movie if you are a huge fan of Vocaloid and Miku and all that stuff. And maybe if you watch this movie, you'll definitely have an interest in looking into the game like I am, honestly, because the only thing that I probably would I don't say regret, but like like if you know about the characters in the game, once again, and you have the context of like stories that have happened in the game, that what the character development, what characters have been through, because there's like one particular character who's like that kind of like, I feel like I miss a lot of things, or not list a lot of things, but clearly something happened, right? There's like this one character in one group, right, the dark edgier group, and pretty much like on the outside, I guess she's just like normal, I guess, like she talks like very emotionless and very dark-ish, but then like when she's talking to her mom, she's like all very Genki and look like glittering eyes and full of joy and look like that. But then like when she turns away, she's like back to something. So yeah, there's like context pretty much. Maybe I'll learn some things when I play the game. Yeah, if I set Kai to where Miku is, can I have physical contact with her? They technically do. I mean, well, cause like it's like kind of thing like when they show like the Miku, right? She's like just kind of like this hologram thing that pops out of your phone, or like she's like just chilling in like the digital screen, like even in your screen right now, she'll just be like there. Oh, wait a minute, should I have talked about that? There is a particular plot point I didn't mention, but I guess that's like spoiler talk. That's like going more into specifics about the plot. But yeah, I mean, general sense, once again, this movie is, you can totally watch it. No knowledge about the games, you might have to learn come to understand a few things, And the characters, you might not, know too many of them because there's 20 of them, right? And of course the Vocaloids, you might want to know the Vocaloids just a wee bit, unless you like Miku most particularly. But yeah, it's very generic and very fun. I do think they explain, well, they don't really explain the Sekais too much in the movie. They just like, they just use it a lot, and you kind of get an idea of what a Sekai is in the movie. And yeah, just fun. A lot of good music, and the movie looks fantastic as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much my whole shtick with the movie non-spoilers thing. I would really like to, definitely good to watch again, right? If I want to watch it, it only airs where I'm at. Ooh. I mean, it's only in theaters for a limited time until it goes to DVD or something like that, or online or streaming or whatever. But honestly, it's a fun time. And if you watch it with a fan full of Vocaloid fans like I did, it's a great watch. I wasn't sure what to expect when coming into this movie, but I honestly came out having a really fun time, and I felt really giddy and happy at the end of it. Coming out of the theater, I'm just like, yes, it felt great. I feel great today watching this movie. It's just fantastic. All right, so that's everything non-spoiler talk. Now, this might be like, if anyone's interested in not in spoilers, so I don't know if you guys want to stick around for this, but spoilers talk, or spoilers warning talk. All right, so I'm gonna go into specifics of the movie and pretty much like other things, right? Ain't gonna be able to watch it anytime soon. Okay, well, anyways, I'm gonna go into specifics of the movie. Okay, wait, you know what? I could actually rate this anime movie, actually. Hold up. I'm gonna go into my anime list and go and rate this thing live, because I didn't think to do that, actually. Let me go find it. Colorful Stage. Alright, here we go. Colorful Stage, the movie, a Miku who can't sing. Alright. What would I rate this movie? As like, that's a question. I really enjoyed it. Although, like, honestly, it's very it's generic enough that you can watch it. You get more out of it if you know the games and the characters already. Both 6 out of 10. No, I think it's higher than a 6 at least. Okay, like, coming out as a Vocaloid fan, or watching the movie as a Vocaloid fan, and someone who hasn't played the game, like, I really enjoyed it. But of course, I would probably have a higher score if I had more context with characters and the character development and what they've gone through and stuff, and the different groups and everything. But just as a fan of Vocaloid, watch a Hatsune Miku movie, and doesn't sure what to expect from like the groups and their music and other things, I thought this was like an 8, honestly. It might be a 9 if I had like more character knowledge, but like 7 or 8. But I'm honestly leaning towards an 8 because I had a really fun time with this movie. Here, let me go give this a, let me go write this down. I'm gonna rank it live. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 out of 10. That's just how much I had fun with this movie, honestly. Yeah, doing it live. Heck yeah, reviews live. Let's go. All right, where's, get an outline. Let me go give a. Oh gosh, where's my thing? I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10. Very recommendation. It's a fun watch. Go ahead and watch it if you're a fan of Vocaloids. I had a fun time. I had a great time. It's, I mean, 8 out of 10. Okay, it's either 7 or 8. Like, I would probably give it an extra point higher if I was like maybe a fan of the game and like knew everything about the characters. Like, oh, you know, this reference or that thing and this thing, like, you know, that kind of thing. But 8 or 7 is like, I liked it a lot, even though I don't have knowledge about the games. It makes me want to check into the games pretty much. wrong thing. Okay, that's the thing. Is there any dark subjects in the movie? That we'll be going into spoiler talks with that. So, all right. So that is my general review of the movie. 8 out of 10. 7 or 8 out of 10, but mostly 8. I'm leaning towards 8. Actually, right on my phone as well. You can check out my anime list. Link is in the description of all the anime and manga that I read and review. Be completed. Give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's a fun time as a Vocaloid fan. Nice. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified if I check out the game live on stream or something like that. I don't know if I will, but you know, I might take a look at it. All right. Not gonna lie, I know the mobile game has some dark subjects in it. Oh, yes. Okay, well, there, like I said, there's like the one darker, edgier group that like their Sekai. Oh my gosh, bro! Like the duality is so thin because all the different characters in the Sekais. Like I said, you got a rock band. Okay, we're going full spoilers here. So if you don't want to be spoiled about the movie, then you know, turn off the stream, watch the movie, then come back here. Okay, so we're going full spoilers now. All right. So yeah, like I said, you know, the duality of the Sekais is so thin because you have like bright Sekais with, you know, very fun and joyful Vocaloids and characters, and then you have the one group that's like, you know, on the darker side. And now like, you know what, like I vibe with this shit more because whatchamacallit, like I like Roselia, so there's my thing. But to go into more specific details about the movie, so like I said, the general synopsis about the movie is that the Miku who can't sing is, you know, trying to learn how to sing and, you know, reach people through her music from learning from the characters in the game, right? But the characters or the people she's trying to reach in real life are like, you know, everyday people that are like kind of like stressed about life or kind of doubting themselves or struggling through things, right? And she wants to brighten up their, you know, just brighten them up through her music. But then this Miku can't sing, so she's like asking help from all the cast. Is like, how do you guys, you know, do your music? How do you guys sing? How do you guys, you know, have your music reach and inspire people, right? And you know, it's kind of like, I want to say real life because I haven't personally would say experienced something, but I could get it, right? Like, you know, how music and other things can like, you know, motivate you. You know, that's just like the power of like art and music, right? You know, when you're feeling down, listen to some songs, listen to some music, you kind of cheer up, right? That's like that's like the deeper synopsis to the plot line, right? So yeah, so this Miku, like you see these like what do you call it? These characters in the movie throughout, right? You have this like one guy who's like, I guess he's part of like a dance group, but then he quit. And then you have this one girl who's like trying to study for exams and is like stressing the hell out and like taking her anger and stress on her family. And you have this other guy who's like a manga artist who's just like can't like has the artist block. He can't like, you know, think of what to draw or write, whatever, right? So yeah, you have these like people throughout the movie who are kind of like just like, you know, stressed out or going through some hard times. And then this Miku here in the middle is trying to sing and brighten them up and cheer them up a bit. But like, I like the way how they portray in the movie. They kind of just see her like she's like they're on their like devices and their phones trying to pop out and sing to them. But then like it's kind of like noise and static pretty much, except when it's viewed from the characters in the game, because they all like, I guess they like, you know, they have their sekais, they have their interactions with Miku, right? So they could see her fully. They're just like, Miku, is that you? And you know, that's how she comes to ask them for their help, because everyone else can see this Miku except the other people who are like, you know, kind of having their darker moments, right? So that's like the deeper plot line of the film, right? And pretty much full on spoilers here. So like I said, every single group and band in this thing have their own sekai with their own Vocaloids, right? The Miku in this middle here is like, I don't know, it was done like a Persona 5, but like it's kind of like she like this Miku and her sekai is like the general populace, right? So she's trying to reach these different kinds of people throughout the world and try to cheer them up with her songs and music, right? So her sekai is like pretty dark and more like on a huger scale than the other ones, pretty much. And I really enjoyed this like how they portrayed it, because I was like I said, if anyone does done a Persona 5, they kind of know what they may not get what I'm hinting at here. But it's kind of like that. You have like this Miku in the middle, who is the general, like the world Sekai of Miku's, right? But she can't reach anyone, and then in her world, it's like pretty thing, because you have a bunch of like doors and windows that are all shut, and like I guess like, you know, every time she fails in her mission to like, you know, speak and sing to these people and cheer them up, like it gets filled with like a bunch of like sand and dark looking things. And so, you know, once again, deeper into the plot line, right? Pretty much eventually, I don't know exactly why this is a thing, but like, so pretty much every single time this Miku's trying to help like cheer up and brighten these people who are going through it in life and whatnot and struggling, like it causes power outages in the world and blackouts. And I mean, like, okay, like in anime logic terms, right? It's like, I don't know why the correlation is between, you know, this and blackouts, right? But, you know, anime movie logic, okay, right? So pretty much, where was I going with this? Yeah, so pretty much, like, eventually towards the, like, the movie, when the, like, not twist, but, like, when the rising action happens, so pretty much, like, Miku's trying to learn from all the groups and like learn how to sing and reach these people, but then her efforts aren't like making any results, and then essentially she pretty much gives up, and then her Sekai is pretty much like flooded with, you know, darkness and whatever, and in a sense actually like it causes blackouts in reality. And then because the Miku in this general populous Sekai, like, you know, kind of gave up and like, you know, resigned, or not resigned, but like, you know, she kind of like gave up and trying to sing and whatever. It affected all the other Mikus in the different it affected the whole Hatsune Miku verse pretty much, right? So then you have like all the Hatsune Mikus from the main characters Sekais all disappear, right? All the other Vocaloids stay. Like this, they only like Rin, Len, Luca, and Kaito and Mako, they're all fine. It's just Miku that disappears and all the other Sekais. So the global, like the universal Miku Sekai got destroyed, and then every other Miku and every other Sekai, you know, got erased pretty much. And as a result of this, like all the Vocaloid music in the world, anything with Miku in it just got erased. They all became instrumentals. Like that was kind of like weird, or like it's like such an anime plotline, but like, you know, like I was vibing with it when I was watching it. But like to think about it now and talk about it, it's so like very anime, right? So yeah, Miku disappeared in the Sekais, and now all of her music in real life, like her vocals are gone, pretty much. And so then what else? Okay, so that happens, and pretty much to try and bring back Miku, pretty much all the characters in the movie, it's like when iPhone 3 was replaced with Android. Maybe so to bring her back, like I think I did mention this in like the general view, but like the Vocaloid songs are really nice. So pretty much there's this one song that the Miku here sings, and she sings it throughout the movie, and all the characters in the cast know this song and pretty much try to like expand on her song to enable to like do her job, or not do her, yeah, do her job for her, so that they could bring her back maybe, because this Miku is trying to reach these people throughout the world who are, you know, having a rough time in life and whatever. So then all the different 5 groups make their own songs inspired by Miku, and then they all have their own performance in the movie. Like you have this one group, like my favorite, like the edgy darker group, they're like, we're gonna do a release on Discord or YouTube or whatever. And then of course you have like what the rock band group's gonna perform live in the streets or whatever. You have this idol group that's streaming live on YouTube, and you have this like breakdancing group gonna perform at this festival, and then you have like this like amusement park performers like performing on a special show or whatever. And yeah, they do all their songs. You get to get every single, you know, like a little one-time shot for every one of them. All the animation is fantastic as well, of course, when they're doing their performances and they're singing and they're dancing, or what, you know, band, whatever, right? It all looks fantastic. And then this pretty much works, and it brings back Miku because all the people that Miku tried to talk to and inspire and cheer up all got to see their performances, and they pretty much become inspired or motivated again, and then Miku comes back, and then you have a nice little Miku performance with the song. I think the theme song of this movie is actually really nice. I think it might be called Sekai. Coincidentally, they use the word Sekai in the lyrics a lot, so I'll probably look it up after this one because I really enjoy the song. But yeah, so they bring her back. We have the original song for this movie, I guess the Sekai theme. I don't know if it's actually called Sekai, but it's in the lyrics, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's the general gist of it, and then everything's all nice and happy and slice of life, pretty much. So yeah, that's like spoilers out of the way. It still kind of baffles me when I try to explain this IRL. It's like, so if like this Miku disappears, right? All the Vocaloid songs on the internet, like YouTube, Billy, whatever, all the voice of Miku's are gone, pretty much. It all becomes instrumentals. And then for some reason, whenever like these people are like struggling, and then Miku's trying to cheer them up but fails, it causes blackouts in reality or something like that, and all the power and electricity goes out or whatever. So there's like your conflict in the movie, pretty much. So yeah, that's like the anime plotline, but everything's fine in the end, and then everything goes back to the way it is. I didn't mention this in the general non-spoiler review, but like, so every single group in this game, or not this game, this movie, you have like every group, 5 groups, 4 characters in each group, right? They all interact with each other mostly a lot in the movie, but I don't know, I was like, oh, so like, do these characters like not interact at all with each other? Like, you have one person from one group interacting with another group or whatever. Like it's all very like, what do you call it? Not interconnected, but like it's all in their own small groups, right? Throughout the movie, except at the end when they all like hang out with each other in school, or like they talk to each other. It's like, oh yeah, they actually do know each other, but I guess like in the movie they just like never meet each other to discuss like the whole plot of the movie, right? Like every time all the characters are gathered together to talk to Miku, like all their silhouettes are blurred, so they can't see each other except their own group, which I thought was like, huh. So like, is it like every single group in this game have their own like universe with their Miku, and like they can't see the other characters because they're in their own world or own Sekai, right? But no, it's all one setting, but they'd all just like never like come together to whatchamacallit, to interact with each other until the very end of the movie, where you see like literally every single character having interactions with someone in some capacity. So I was like, okay, so they do know each other pretty much, but they probably do know each other. Context of the game that I missed out on. What else? I think that's about it, pretty much. I'm trying to think of other things for the movie. What else? The music's fantastic. I guess I don't know if I like man, because I don't know anything about the game, but like there's like some like tidbits in the movie where you have like the characters like talking about things like after Miku disappears, and everything seems very like grim and dark, and like they don't know what to do. They talk about like their experiences, and then just be like talking about things that happened, and I'm just like, oh, like this group broke up or things like that. Or then the darker, edgy group, of course, you have like the person who writes the lyrics there, like kind of like relating to the characters, because she kind of had that feeling of like giving up or like not feeling motivated and stuff like that. And yeah, there's just like context from the games, pretty much. That's like the only other thing I can think of for this movie. Mic? What's wrong with my mic? Is my mic too loud? Mic check. Mic. What else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I honestly think that's it, man. It's so funny. There's like a group that like everything's through. Oh my god, it's so funny. There's like this parody of Discord in the movie, like the darker edgy group. It was static for a while. Oh shit, really? Is it better now? Uh-oh. Wait, is it still static now? Hold on, let me hear this thing. Why is the microphone doing that? Why? It's fine now, really? Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Huh, that's weird. Okay. Well, yeah, so anyways, back to what I was saying. There's like, you know, I kind of want to look up this group name now because I'm like so curious. Like the dark and edgy group, not the dark edgy, but like the more darker serious group, right? Like their communications are through Discord, or not Discord, it's called Nightcord in the anime. And I'm just like, oh, that's hilarious. Let me see here. Colorful, oh my gosh, I have to spell colorful stage groups. I guess I can go into a little like more discussion on the groups. Okay, here we go. So all right, so here we go. Wait, what the heck happened? What do you mean it's not my fault? What's happening here? Oh, lol. Okay, so let me see here. So Leo/Need, Vivid Bad Squad, 25G Nightcord. Oh no, it's actually just called Nightcord. Wait, what? I thought it's because it's a parody of Discord. 25 o'clock at Nightcord. Oh my gosh, they are Discord streamers. They're just Discord streamers. Okay. Oh my gosh, so I'm looking up the groups and like their names because I think they might have mentioned that like a little bit in the movie, but like there's like 20 characters and I'm not gonna remember every single person's name, not gonna lie. So you have like in the visual we have here, you have the one with the blue hair with the guitar case, right? That's Leo/Need. That's the rock band group. I actually really kind of like their group a lot. They are, I guess, they get a lot more screen time than the other groups, I feel like, because they're the first ones that meet Miku, and you get a lot of time with them. And honestly, like I think she's the lead singer in their group, and she gets a lot of screen time. And honestly, she seems kind of interesting, not gonna lie. And the rest of her group, you know, it's very rock band orientated. They go into their sekais to practice their music. I don't know how it works with the sekai thing again, because like they're just like, okay guys, like, you know, they come out of school and they're just hanging out and like, okay guys, I'll go see you in sekai later, right? And then like they go on their computer or their phone or whatever, they, you know, it's like they press an app or a button or something like that, and then they just kind of like disappear into this virtual space, right? And I'm just like, does like anyone like not know like what the hell happens here? Like what's happening here? So yeah, like I think one character does that. Like she's like literally singing in her room. She has like the whole like musician setup, everything. You got a keyboard on the side. You got the microphone with the boom mic or whatever, headphones, and then she does the whole thing. And then she's just chilling in her chair, and then like puts the button, then you know digitalizes into their sekai, right? So yeah, I'm like, you know, it might be just a visual thing, but like I'm kind of curious how that works in the game. So yeah, that's the rock band group, and then. What else? I'm blocking one of the guys. There's like this guy on the right. Here, let me go move it a little bit. This one, no. This one. So this guy right here above me on the right side here. So their group is called, let me see here. What is it called? Wonderland Showtime. So this group of characters, they pretty much like, I'm like not confused, but like I'm so bewildered because they're basically everyone's pretty much probably high schoolers, right? Be real. And then, you know, they work at this amusement park and do performances, right? So they have like some legitimate jobs pretty much, and I guess they like, you know, that's their whole shtick. They do like plays or performances incorporated with their music. Mic static again? Oh no, what the hell's happening? I know when I talk slightly loud. Oh, it's when I get too passionate. Okay, let me go. Hello? Mic check. Is it because I'm too passionate about this movie? Alright, I will try and tone it down. And I also moved the mic further away, so hopefully we'll go thing with that. So anyways, yeah, so... what was it? Wonderland Showtime. So very festival play orientated, like with whatchamacallit, with the Leo/Need group, right? You know, they practice their music on their instruments, they write the lyrics. It's like a typical band, right? Rock band. Wonderland Showtime, whenever you see them like interacting, they're like practicing their play in their amusement park, and I'm just like, holy moly. Like, and they also have this like mecha that does like, I don't know, like special effects and fireworks or whatever. Like they use it for the shows, and I'm just like, okay, there's I'm missing a lot of context here. And then what else? So who am I looking at in this group here, this visual? So then you have these two on the right, like above me, right? And you have the three on the left. So those are three other different groups. So then let's see here. The one with the hat on, that is the breakdancing group, if I recall correctly. Yes, Vivid Bad Squad. So their performances are usually encompassed with a lot of like dance and breakdance. And honestly, I was like, you know, it's not too bad, honestly. Like when they showed it in the animation of this movie is like really good, right? But like, you know, it's just like more visual, how do you call it? Visual arts, you know, dancing and all that stuff, because in their performance it's a lot of dance and choreography and all that stuff. And I thought it was not too bad. And then the one next to her in the with like the brownish hair, that's like, let me see. That's the idol group pretty much. What is it called? More Jump. So yeah, standard idol group. They literally stream on their YouTube channel. They literally stream on YouTube their performances, and like, you know, high school idol group pretty much. Is it like Love Live? No, like, I mean, you know, it's modern day age like idol group pretty much, because they stream everything on YouTube and they have a YouTube channel and everything. And then the one the far left with the white hair, she's the lead, or not the lead, I guess she makes the music, I'm pretty sure, for their group. That's 25G night chord. Hold on, let me get the English translation for this. 25 o'clock at night chord. So I was like, their interactions are so funny. So that's the group, the darker, edgier group. I don't know if they're actually like that, but like one of the members is like literally the, you know, the monotone, expressionless one, and they're always communicating all the time on Discord or Nightcord. But then when they did their performance or they uploaded their music video, I guess it was on Discord, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's kind of hilarious actually. On Nightcord. Discord, Nightcord, oh my gosh. But yeah, if I had to pick a group that I have a lot more interest in, it was them pretty much, because I think, okay, so you had the rock group, Leo/Need, you know, I vibe with that, just like a typical rock band. And you have their group, and I think I like their song a little bit like on the higher side too versus everyone else's. And then what else? Yeah, also just like the Mikus in their sekais are like pretty thing, because it's like I said, I think I mentioned this already before, but the duality of the Mikus and their feelings, their vibes are just so different. Because in their sekai, their Miku is just very like kind of like looks like zombified, or like, you know, very gray, and then they just talk very, you know, like this, or okay, all right, oh yeah, Miku, yeah, like that pretty much. So yeah, that's all 5 groups. Oh my goodness, I think there's more in the game actually, but these are like the main 5. So yeah, there's that with the movie. I honestly don't know where else to go with that. I think that's pretty much everything on the movie. Yeah, I'm trying to think about other things. Well, I guess I could go into spoilers about the after party. So, you know, you have the whole movie play, you have this little after party thing, right? This is where all the people in the crowd pull out their glow sticks and shit, and like they're so bright in the freaking dark ass theater. But like, yeah, there's like an after party. Like, stay tuned for after the credits, guys. There's an after party. And I'm just like, oh, what is this after party you speak of? And it's literally like they have like a Miku performance of the song, and you have the other vocalists in there as well. You got Rinlen, Meiko, Kaito, right? And it's just like a, I wouldn't say it's like a concert, but like it's like, oh man, they literally like kind of just play a video like on the screen pretty much, right? And then it was like a 1.5 minute short video of them doing the song for the show, and that was it. And Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from whatchamacallit, this movie. I'm trying to think of other things that like I'm trying to remember about the movie, but these are all it's pretty much that like that. Yeah, it's like a was it really an hour 53 minutes? I don't know if it felt like an hour 53 minutes. I felt maybe that's just commercials as well. And then like another minute is like to the after party thing. But like it progressed like really fast, surprisingly. Because it's very at the first, like, you know, all the bands are doing their thing, and then they run into Miku, who asks them for help and advice and stuff like that. And then you get to like the whole turn point in the movie. Then they all make their songs, and then they bring Miku back, and then, you know, everything's all fine and dandy. Oh, I guess there is one thing at the end with the I guess was it after the credits? I don't remember. So at the very end, when Miku, this Miku here, the global the universal Sekai, right, is like back and does her song. I guess like all the other characters like lose connection with that Miku, so they can't see her anymore, I guess, due to reasons. And then that Miku is just chilling in her own Sekai world, and then someone like steps in, and then Miku turns around and he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for you." And then that's the movie cuts out, right? So I'm just like, is that supposed to be us, the player, or something like that, right? Because like I guess she also doesn't have her own like Rin or Len or Luca or other Vocaloids, right? But yeah, I was like that was like one thing that confused people as well in the theaters. They were just like, "Oh, who's that? Like, what is that Kaito?" I was like, I don't know, but no, I think it's the player. It feels like it because like this Miku is literally supposed to be the Miku representing the feelings of the entire world, pretty much the universal Miku. So yeah, I feel like that's like it's supposed to be you, the player. I don't know, right? That's just my thought. There's also actually there's like another. I'm thinking about other things that happen in the movie. There's like funny interactions with Miku, where this Miku like would go to visit the other Sekais and meet their Mikus and ask them like for advice. There's like, "Oh hi, I'm Miku," and then, "Oh hi Miku, I'm Miku," and then like it's just like a funny interaction little thing. That's about it. What else? There's like a few funny moments where like Miku's like popping out on people's phones and screens, and it's kind of comedic in a way, right? There's like this one time where Miku's like invading a school like projector that she's just like in the background, and then like it literally stops the class. What else? She pops out a TV trying to jump scare someone on accident when they're watching a horror movie or something like that. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyways, I think that's about all I can think about with this movie. It felt like it went by really fast. Now that I'm talking about it, like, you know, it's very, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, I think that's my general consensus with this movie. So we'll leave it like that now. So anyways, that's it for colorful stage of the movie, a Miku who can't sing, my impression / review of this movie. Once again, summarize. Very exciting. It was a very fun and enjoyable movie. You can watch it without having knowledge of the characters in the game. You will probably have to like come to grips with like the terminology and the Sekai, of course, and probably, you know the Vocaloids just a wee bit, right? The music and the art look, well, the art looks fantastic, and the animation, right? And then the music, of course, you have Vocaloid music and original music. I really enjoyed every single aspect of the songs in this movie. I'll probably look them up afterwards, right? And take a look at it myself. And even the game, right? You know, I'm like kind of curious about the characters and like the game because it's a rhythm game, so it's just like, you know, a lot of Vocaloid and the original songs, right? I'm a rhythm gamer, right? What else? Yeah, just a solid movie for Vocaloid fans, and I had a great time with it. Left the theater very, very like happy. If that's how I could describe it, pretty much. Like, man, like, yeah, I had a great day today. I watched this movie and had fun with it. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for my movie review / impressions on this movie. I kind of want to take a look at the game also, because if you guys watch it in theaters, you get a redemption code for in-game rewards. I have no clue what exactly this thing is, but yeah, I'm keeping this for myself because if I ever download the game myself and get to use this code myself, then I'm gonna do it on my own account. So yeah, I might check out the game in the future. If you're curious about my adventure with that, leave a little comment about it. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys have watched the movie, if you guys played the games, you watched the movie without playing the game. Let me know your guys' experience about the movie. If you watched the game, I'm so curious, because like, if anything, like I would definitely love to do a rewatch of this movie with context of the characters and like the history and the character development they've had, because I probably would have like, probably be in the loop, right? So yeah, let me know your thoughts and feelings about this movie. Let me know your favorite Vocaloid. Let me know your favorite Vocaloid song, whatever. Let me know what you love about Vocaloid and all that stuff. And I'll see you all next time whenever I stream gacha games or other things, I guess. I'll see you all next stream. So take care, guys. I'm gonna go listen to some Vocaloid now. Peace.
ありがとうございます。責任を負うものについて話したことがありましたね。あの時の私には分かりませんでしたが、今なら理解できます。大人としての責任と義務、そしてその延長線上にあったあなたの選択、それが意味する心映えも。ですから先生、私が信じられる大人であるあなたになら、このねじれて歪んだ先の終着点とはまた別の結果を、そこへつながる選択肢はきっと見つかるはずです。
That is a summary of our lives, encapsulating everything about us in these moments. Proof of our shared path. Within them, we glimpse our own essence, and thus, we truly exist. Just like everyone in this story. Hurtling onwards along the path of destiny with passion and courage for the things that breathe meaning into their lives. Set forth on your voyage without hesitation. Even if the ending has been predetermined, that's fine. There are countless things that humans cannot change. But before that, on the road towards the end, there are still many things that we can do. And because of this, the end will thus reveal a completely different meaning. This is the meaning of journey.